as it'll be the Arizona Cardinals taking on the Los Angeles Chargers. Back with you again with scores around the league and on. But kickoff around the corner.
South of downtown L.A. The scene of years. The crowd here in Carson might be half the size of a normal NFL stadium, but they are twice as loud as their Chargers get set to face off the Arizona Cardinals. Hi, everybody. That's the 30-yard line. They have certainly got it rolling of late. Winners of 6 in a row.
And it's simple. The more you win in the regular season, the more likely you play at home in the postseason, and that can take you deep into January.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Cardinals here, they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4. And incomplete to open things up.
And if you look back to last week, it was all about their defense. Anytime you hold an NFL team to single digits, that's saying something. The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Credit.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Forcing completion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Throwing. Brissett eluding the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. A good decision in the end to pull it and run, gets him 9 yards and a first.
How many times do we hear that third down may be the most important down in football, and there's no better example than what we just saw right there. Forced to scramble, knows where the first down marker is, dives for it, and gets it. What a big-time play, putting his body on the line to pick up a key first down.
And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. The numbers on the ground for Logan a week ago. 8 carries, 51 yards.
I was so glad you asked for a couple of offensive linemen to talk to before the game, because they told us that in last week's contest, everything was clicking. Didn't matter whether they were doing gap scheme, zone scheme, power, whatever it was working, and they expect more of the same in this game, although they're prepared for some adjustments by the defense they expect to see.
He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
Let's go!
They'll run it here with Logan. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Denzel Perryman there to bring him down. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's third down.
Here we go!
From the gun, here's Brissett. And he's got Fitzgerald. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
Now a play fake here on first down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And picked up by the Chargers. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. He tried to buy some time to the right. So, Charles, when a guy gets out of the pocket, what's the focus of the quarterback?
Most of them keep their eyes downfield. They want to try and make a play throwing the ball. Some of them, they want to tuck it and go. But when they scramble, in this case, as you said, to the right, you're cutting the field in half. So good defenses kind of converge in that spot and they don't give you much territory to throw the ball. He had nowhere to go with it and ends up getting the ball stripped. Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace. I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there.
Try to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Picked off near the 42. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
It's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
Good starting field position for him as they come up 1st and 10. Brissett. Flush to his right. Fitzgerald's got it right side. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
Brissett dancing to nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And picked up by the Chargers. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. They've got it 1st and 10. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good. Now a hit, and Rivers lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're doing on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away, come up with the ball.
Able to pick up a healthy chunk of yards, 7-yard gain, but a tough 3rd and 9 upcoming.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves play right there. It's way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
To punt it away on 4th down, here's Drew.
In our meeting with the coaching staff, that they all made sure to let us know. We know we are right now, but the playoffs tomorrow. Some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak that the whole month of December is still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very...
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Well, there wasn't much there with that hitch route. They didn't gain what they expected. But sometimes when you call a hitch, you really don't have an alternate to go to. You don't have a second route to throw it to. So sometimes you have to rifle in there and hope for the best.
On 3rd down, Brissett escaping the pressure right. It's caught. Nelson. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a 1st down. So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 43. 2 minutes remain in a scoreless first half. We'll come back to Southern California after this. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today. We get slap happy up here sometimes. And he's going to get this one down right to the edge of the red zone to the chalk of the 20. 23 yards on the play. Brissett going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. They run with Logan, and he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Brissett now on 2nd down. That is 7. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the 1st down. To throw is Brissett. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Jaleel Ladau. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
All right, let's go ahead and just add it up here. Their last 3 drives, 2 fumbles and an interception. Somewhere, to paraphrase one of the great coaches of the NFL, they're asking on that sideline, what the heck is going on out there?
Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Virgil Green is tied in the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. 1st down throw here for Rivers. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
But one thing that I
Welcome back, everyone, to beautiful Southern California and the NFL on EA Sports. It's Charger football as we rejoin the action in the 2nd quarter. On 3rd down, Rivers. On the right side, caught by Green. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination. Guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down. Joey Bosa, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. the gun, Brissett. Flushed out right, and they'll bring him down right around the 13. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. The Cardinals on third down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 17. Now it's the backup Bradford. Airing this one out for Fitzgerald. And he can't hang on it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively. But instead it just brings up 4th down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. Returning, it's Benjamin. An 8-yard return there after a punt of 47. And control of the football, switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Chargers in good field position to start out, 1st and 10. Rivers now to throw on 1st down. Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. So a jump there defensively.
It's a killer. Watch the ball. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
Won't get there. Won't be on line either. It's no good. Off to the right, and this will remain a scoreless game. And that's the risk of the long field goal miss here at this stage of the 2nd quarter. You give up great field position.
That gives them one more opportunity to make something happen and something big. And we've seen crazy stuff happen at the end of halves.
Here we go.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. So even though it's 1st down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the right hash, it's a 46-yard attempt. So we have reached halftime with a visiting an abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. These offenses seemingly still back at the hotel for the first half. 3-0 our score as the 2nd half gets underway. To return it now, here's King. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. Out comes the Chargers as they'll go on offense now to start this 3rd quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission? And the pressure will bring him down here. The Cardinals get home for the sack. Dayon Buchanan. Tough to handle on that blitz. He gets him for a loss of 5. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
3rd and long for Rivers. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. On the carry, it's Logan. And an alley to run. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Here we go. What? 90.
A second down throw for Brissett. And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. Corey Legion in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
We are seeing two really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can...
Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. Picked off by Casey Hayward. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. Charles, when plays like that work, it's a thing to behold, but sometimes we see why they're very deep in the playbook.
And how many times have we been at practice and heard all the other guys chirping about, you know, I used to play quarterback in high school, I can do this, until it becomes a game situation. Not quite the same in many cases.
Looking for Allen, he's got him on the slant. And he carries this one all the way down to the 9. 23 yards on the play. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, and they're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal. So stuff for no gain on 2nd down brings up a pretty interesting 3rd from this distance.
I'm throwing the ball, and I'm not even thinking about play pass. I'm going to let him know right away I'm throwing it.
Got a man. It's Allen for the Charger touchdown. Keenan Allen, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Chargers are able to strike for 6. That's why you've got your star out there. Throw the ball to him. They did.
That's simply saying we don't care what coverage you put out there. He's so good. We're going there with the football anyway, and there's not a thing you can do about it.
Inside the red zone, they go to him. He gets it done. That'll be taken in the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. He's likely still kicking himself from the interception last drive that wound up leading to a go-ahead score.
And he's going to assume all that came with that one, all right? That's all on him, but he also knows he's got to erase it from his mind and get back out there. This drive, very important.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. He was waving his arms, wanted the football, but he dropped it. And that reminds me of a story you told me from your days at Tennessee. We don't need to mention the other guy's name, but when he dropped an open pass that you blew coverage on, what did you say to it?
Yeah, it's really not right since I blew coverage, but since he dropped the pass, I said, well, maybe next time he'll just walk it out here and hand it to you. Would that be easier? He wasn't real thrilled with that.
That's cold-blooded. Cold-blooded. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down. Brissett from the gun on 3rd. And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
That'll be a 48-yard punt, 1 yard on the return. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. So Rivers will lead the Chargers out 1st and 10 at the 40. They'll try and get the ground game going. Here's Gordon. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week.
Back now at the StubHub Center in Carson. It's Charger football, and they've got the lead as well as we begin the 4th quarter.
Hey, 380!
Now a second down throw for Rivers. Benjamin with it over the middle. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
The Cardinal offense here ready to take over. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. One score down, here we go. They're going to go for it here on fourth down.
Flex round! Flex round!
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. The Cardinals unable to convert there on fourth down. And now, boy, the ball's going to go over on downs here inside the 10-yard line. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was. Defenses talk about getting the football and either.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, when someone other than the quarterback is throwing the football, it's either beautiful or a disaster, and here it was the latter.
Nowhere in between, right? You're exactly right. It takes some fortitude to call that type of a play. But when it doesn't work, oh, boy, you wish you hadn't.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
Throwing again, Brissett on 2nd and 10. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Let's give some credit to the defensive guys on that play. Able to bat that one away. Sure looked like they were trying to hit the corner route.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Being chased out left. He may try and run for this. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th. Here's Andy Lee now as he's on to punt for Arizona. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. Right now clinging to a one-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
Green with a catch left side. Brings it up just shy of the 25. Showed some of that quickness there on the move. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the game. Second down, that was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end, Now it gives them much better opportunity to convert on third.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 30. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. How about the big boys snagging one? You don't see that every week.
No, you don't, but a lot of them are just reliving their old dreams, going back to when they were in youth football. In high school, they didn't always play defensive line. Some of them actually handled the football, and you can see the flashback when he grabbed that one.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he's going to bring this one down to right about the 20-yard line. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Second down, Brissett. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line. Melvin Ingram. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. On third down, it's Logan, and they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. And they've got a 4th down now in a game that, to be honest, has been pretty much everything we could have asked for. And Dawson's kick is good. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So with that field goal, this one's now back within a field goal. Maybe not the ultimate result they wanted, but gets them that much closer.
This game is unfolding like a really good book, isn't it? Because I feel like there's a few more plot twists yet to be revealed before this one is over.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. It's a loss of 10 yards on the play. Following the penalty, here's Gordon. And good yardage as he gets this one up to about the 23. And now here's a timeout defensively coming from the Cardinals, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. They'll try and grind some clock with Gordon. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. The Chargers on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Now a 10th carry for Melvin Gordon. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. Here's Drew Kaiser now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Now it's Peterson. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
He'll look to throw. Fitzgerald bringing it in over the middle. And he's brought down. The quick slant, good for a 1st down, a gain of 12.
At this stage, you've got to hustle. You've got to get back to the line of scrimmage because you're saving that timeout to make sure you have a chance to get your kicker out there for the big shot.
Brissett now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as he'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game.
Here we go.
Back to throw. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Larry Fitzgerald was the intended target, and it's third down. This defense so strong all afternoon long. Well executed again there.
This is a group that really functions well off of each other. No matter what the assignment, the other person fills in the exact proper spot. They've made it very, very hard for them to find open places to throw the football.
And he gets it down to the 32. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves him with a fourth down now. So on fourth down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to take the lead here in the final minute. And now the Chargers are going to signal for another timeout. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. And Dawson's kick is good. And the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute. And I tell you, when it comes to needing a field goal in closing seconds, pressure situation, there's something to be said for having a veteran kicker trot out there.
Agreed. It's so nice to have someone you can rely on, someone who you know has done it before. And this guy's as cool as they come, isn't he?
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Charger offense making their way back out there. So you're right there, but obviously the clock is not your friend. How do you handle this situation?
You're thinking 2 plays. One, to get yourself in position for the second one, whether you're able to get into field goal range or you have to try another deep pass, another Hail Mary. But you're trying to get the first one to a receiver, get out of bounds, and give yourself a chance to set things up for an easier shot at it.
Let's see if they can do it. Might be easier said than done. And no, it's incomplete. So that hits the ground with only 4 seconds remaining. And this should be the last play. One more shot. One last shot now for Rivers. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for the Cards, their playoff chances take an uptick as they move to 7-4. And they'll get another road test next week as they have to go to Lambeau to take on the Packers. Meanwhile, for the home team here, we'll see how this affects their playoff standing as they fall to 7-4 now on the year. And they'll try to rebound